Hello all. So in today's class we are going to start module 2 of instrumentation systems, and from this module we are going to learn about various measuring devices, that is the devices for measuring motion, force, torque, pressure and all. So in this module, in module 2, we are going to learn motion measurements, that is displacement measurements as well as velocity and acceleration. Displacement measurement devices, velocity measurement devices and acceleration measurement devices, and the definitions and various principles of those devices. And in the second part of this module we are going to learn force and torque measurements and the devices used for these force and torque measurements, and characteristics of some transducers and all. So at first let's start with motion measurements and the fundamental standards of the measuring devices. What is that? So motion, what is meant by movement or motion? It is the displacement of a object from one point to another. Okay, now if we want to analyze or if we want to judge a particular motion or movement, then we need to measure that particular change of the position. Okay, so how we can measure a particular movement? It can be measured only with respect to length and time. Okay, so we need to measure the displacement over there, and also if we need to measure the speed, we need to go for velocity and acceleration. Okay, so here at first let's go on with displacement, and for measuring displacement we need to measure the length and time. Displacement means the movement of a object from one point to another. So there are some other quantities such as force, pressure, temperature, etc. that are often measured by transducing them to motion and then measuring its resulting motion. And these devices for the motion measurements, that is, also involves the electromechanical transducers that convert the motion quantities into electrical quantities. Now let us move on to fundamental quantities and standards. The four fundamental quantities are length, time, mass and temperature. The units and standards for all other quantities are derived from this. That is, these are the four fundamental quantities and all other quantities are derived quantities. The units and standards of such quantities are derived from these fundamental quantities. Now, in motion measurements, the fundamental quantities are length and time. And what is meant by the standards for measuring these quantities? The standards for measuring various quantities, both fundamental as well as derived quantities. The standard means it is a reference based upon which we are doing the measurement. That is, a standard is defined as something that is set up and established by an authority as a rule of measure of quantity, weight, extent, value or quality. That is, it is a factor or it is a term which is assigned by or which is established by a recognized authority as a rule of the measuring of a quantity. Whatever quantity we are measuring, for measuring that quantity there will be a standard which is already established by some recognized authority, and we will do the measurement by referring to that standard. Then only that measurement is universally acceptable. Okay, for example, a meter is a standard established by an international organization for the measurement of length. Similarly, second is a standard for measurement of time. Okay, there are many examples like that. Now, what is the role of the standards in measurement? The role of a standard is to achieve uniform, consistent, repeatable measurement throughout the world. So, the role of standards is very essential in our day-to-day world, because if there is no standards, then the measurements that we are doing is not accepted by any industries, or those measurements will not have any value if that measurement is not based upon any universally acceptable standard. Today our entire industrial economy is based on interchangeability of parts during the method of manufacturing. That is, during the method of manufacturing, interchangeability is a concept followed by many industries. So in order to achieve it, or in order to perform this, a measuring system adequate to define the features to ensure the accuracy and also the standards of sufficient accuracy to support the measuring system are necessary. We need to ensure the accuracy, so for that the standards which are already defined by some authority, international or national authority, should be followed while performing the method of manufacture. Then only the accuracy is ensured in such manufacturing process. Now let us move on to the standards of various quantities, that is the standards of length and time, which are the fundamental quantities of measurement of displacement. Now, standards of length. What is the unit of length? It is meter. So during the measurement of length, we should compare our measured quantity with a reference, then only a measurement is complete. In practice, the accurate measurement must be made by comparison with a standard of known dimension, and such a standard is called primary standard. The first accurate standard that was made in England, and it was known as Imperial Standard Yard. And after that, after the Imperial Standard Yard, the other standard that came forward is International Prototype Meter, that was made in France. And since these two standards of length were made of metal alloys, they are called as material length standards. Okay, these two are, that is Imperial Standard Yard and International Prototype Meter, these two are the first standards that came, and this standard was based upon metal alloys, and using that metal alloy, or due to the specification of that metal alloy, related to that these standards was developed, and due to that it is named as material length standard. What is National Prototype Standard? Before 1960, the standard followed was platinum iridium alloy, in which the platinum was 90% and iridium was 10%. And from 1960 onwards, meter was redefined as wavelength of Krypton 86 lamp. Okay, and this particular standard was known as light optical wavelength standard. But both these type of standards were not available for routine calibration work. For daily calibration work, these two were not capable. That is why the National Institute of Standard and Technology, shortened as NIST, has set up other standards named as National Reference Standards, and below this National Reference Standards, working standards and interlaboratory standards were also developed. So here, working standards is the standards which we work with, and interlaboratory standards are the standards that are used in the factories and laboratories all over the country. These are used for calibration and certification, and it is developed by NIST. And these standards are readily available for a working engineer for calibration of motion transducers. Now let us move on to fundamental standards of time. We know that the fundamental unit of time is second, and it is easy to measure time depending upon second, minute, hour and all. Okay, very before many years, that is 1900 and all, the measurement of time was very complicated. That is, it was depending upon some astronomical measurements and all. The measurement was done. The accurate measurement of time was done comparing to some astronomical measurements. Also, such measurements was very much complicated and lengthy, and it requires many complex calculations to achieve in the final result. So, before the present system of calculation of time, at first it was calculated depending upon the tropical year and the calculation relating to that. But one of the main fault in this definition is that no one can measure an interval of time by direct comparison with the interval of time defining the second. That is, interval of this year itself is a time period. Therefore, we cannot compare this with the time we need to calculate. Therefore, it cannot be a proper measurement, or it cannot be accepted as a proper standard for measurement of time. So after that, another standard developed was the astronomical measurement. So the disadvantage of such methods I have told before, that is, they are complex and it takes many time to achieve in the final result, and also it is not so easily understandable by the normal people. Okay, so in order to overcome this difficulty, in 1964 again we have redefined the time as the second in terms of frequencies of atomic resonators, and now presently the second is defined as the interval of time corresponding to these cycles of atomic resonant frequency of cesium-133. So this is the proper definition of standard of time which is followed at present. That is all about standards of fundamental quantities, and from next class onwards let us learn about the measuring devices for displacement measurements, velocity measurements and acceleration measurements. Okay, thank you.